If somebody says they never gonna fight me,
then you can't rely. Yeah, you got to move on.
I don't need you,
You got to
bro.
move on.
Simple.
Do you believe we will finally see Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis in 2026?
Come. I don't even want to speak on him. I don't got too much to say about him.
Tell me why. Where's that heat come from?
I don't talk on people who feel as though I need them, because I don't need nobody. I'm a big superstar in my own right. I make a lot of big money in my own right, and I don't need nobody. So yeah, I don't want to speak on him. Any fighter have any issue with me,
Let's do it.
sign the contract, turn the lights on bright, let millions come around the seats to see what's happening, and pull up on me.
Shakur Stevenson is fed up by the fight rumors as he goes off on Gervonta Davis in a recent interview, making it clear that he doesn't need him.
I don't need nobody. So if he feels as though I need him, and if it's that kind of stuff, then it's like whatever. I'm not in need of that fight.
Shakur Stevenson explained that he didn't like discussing Gervonta Davis, saying the way Davis moved was strange to him and something he didn't respect. Still, he made it clear that from a fighting perspective, if Davis or anyone else had an issue with him, they could settle it in the ring on fight night.
Do you ever think we'll see you in Tank? Realistically.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't really like talking about him.
Yeah.
Cause like the way that he move is goofy to me. Like it's some weird shit. Like I really don't like speaking on him, but like if same thing that
Fighting perspective.
same thing that I said with T.O. If anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got.
Yeah.
I stand by that with anybody.
Shakur Stevenson said he would love to fight Gervonta Davis, but made it clear that the fight depends on Davis being willing to make it happen. He suggested Davis would need to step up and get serious about the matchup. At the same time, Stevenson added that if someone says they will never fight him, then there is no point waiting around, and he would simply move on with his career.
But keeping it boxing.
That's boxing.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not boxing?
Yeah, no, I love it. No, you got to do what you got to do.
Right, like
I just want to see. I want to know. I'm just asking, realistically, will we ever see y'all two in the ring? However way it get there, will we ever see that match?
I would love it.
Tank got to stand on straight and narrow too, man.
I would love it.
My son got to, you know what I mean? He got to get on path.
I would love it. But at the end of the day, once again, if somebody says they never gonna fight me,
then you can't rely. Yeah, you got to move on.
I don't need you,
You got to
bro.
move on.
Simple.
During a podcast with Joe Rogan, Shakur Stevenson said he would love a fight with Gervonta Davis because it's one of the biggest matchups at lightweight. However, he admitted he felt disrespected after Davis criticized him on social media and suggested that Stevenson needed the fight. Stevenson pushed back on that idea, stressing that he is successful on his own and doesn't depend on any single opponent to build his career.
Because the fight that I would think that would generate the most amount of interest at 135 would be Tank. Now, I know Tank's got some legal issues now, and I don't know what his status is currently. But when in terms of big names, Tank is the big name at 35.
Yeah. I would love for it to happen, but the way that he went on like social media and kind of like bashed me in a way to where it's like he made it seem like I need him, and I just feel disrespected about it, because at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. I make my own money. I'm living a spectacular life. I don't need nobody. So if he feels as though I need him, and if it's that kind of stuff, then it's like whatever. I'm not in need of that fight.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis rejects the notion that Shakur Stevenson poses a threat, pointing to Stevenson's cautious approach in the ring. He argues that true danger comes from fighters who consistently commit to offense, and in his view, Stevenson's defensive style lacks the aggressive intent needed to challenge him meaningfully.
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of somebody, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only winning basketball and football. That shit in boxing.
However, Devin Haney claims Gervonta Davis has not fulfilled his full potential in boxing. Haney says Davis is extremely talented, but believes issues outside the ring and a reluctance to consistently test himself against the very best opponents have limited what he could achieve in the sport. He also questions some of the opponents Davis chooses to face, suggesting they are not the matchups fans want to see.
Gervonta Davis, I think that he's a really good fighter. I think that he's an underachiever. I think that he has so much talent. I think that his outside issues is stopping him from reaching his full potential, and him just not wanting to test himself against the best fighters in the world. There's a guy like Pitbull Cruz it's just a fight that no one asked for.
On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson believes a fight with Gervonta Davis is the biggest matchup in boxing right now. He explained that he has always been willing to make the fight happen, but believes Davis holds some resentment toward him, which has prevented them from sitting down and negotiating like other major rivals have done. Stevenson added that pride and ego seem to be getting in the way, making it difficult for the two sides to move forward with the fight.
Do you think is a point where you could y'all could do the Floyd and Manny, yo, listen, we could get on the phone and iron it out. Let's
I
get
told
to
y'all I would be willing to do that, but that got some type of hate for me or whatever he got going on to where it's we can't do the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford and sit and talk like men and negotiate and me and him is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. I don't care what nobody say. Every black on the planet
that's a fact.
Wants to
we want to see that.
Me versus Tank.
Yeah, fact.
So it's with him, with his pride and his ego and it's hard for him to even, want to get on the phone with me, want to reach out or put all that other to the side. That nigga just got too much ego, I guess.
Shakur Stevenson explains how his relationship with Gervonta Davis fell apart. He says things were friendly at first, but once Stevenson started gaining attention and becoming a real threat in boxing, Davis began showing resentment. Stevenson believes Davis's attitude changed as his own name grew, leading to unnecessary social media posts and tension. He feels Davis now sees success as a zero-sum game, where only one person can rise to the top.
But where did the beef come from? Because it seemed like he really don't like you.
Nah, he don't.
But why? What did y'all do? Because y'all was cool at one point, right? We see videos of y'all as amateurs, cool. Y'all knew each other. Where did it start that y'all don't like each other?
Nah, that started from him. Everybody really think cause people run with false narratives, so they gonna say they versions of the story, but truthfully, when I first was around him, he was showing a lot of love, and then once I became a threat, is where everything switched over. Once people started talking about me and my name started getting bigger, then it was I go fight and I get on Twitter and he'll post, oh, he did that because it was a cab driver, or he'll just post some hating ass shit to where it was unnecessary to go do that. Cause I thought we was cool type shit. But now he flipped it to turn it I did something to him and he made it so believe that shit. But nah, that shit just, I think in his brain it's just one person and nobody else could be up here too.
Keyshawn Davis explains why Shakur Stevenson is boxing's next big star and why a fight with Gervonta Davis would be huge. He says fans genuinely debate who would win, showing respect for both fighters' skills. Stevenson's recent dominant performances prove he's ready, and Davis believes a matchup with Davis would finally test him at the highest level and cement his status as a new generation champion.
Why do you think people say that Shakur Stevenson then is the next big thing in the sport?
For one, I really think the fans don't really see nobody beating Shakur. When people bring up him and Tank, when I see and I go read little stuff about it, they really be debating. It don't be oh, Tank is gonna destroy this guy and everybody is saying this. No, that shit be real debates. No, this Shakur, this, that. And then not only that, now you see Shakur moving up in weight, he's filling out, he's dropping this dude. He went crazy that last fight. That last fight was kind of crazy. You go back and watch, that was crazy, so Now I think people is getting another insight on Shakur, nah, this kid, he been kicking ass for a long ass time now. This kid probably really is the real deal. You feel what I'm saying? He getting his just due. At this point, I really think it's just about giving him that one example. that one real name, that one person that can go 100 miles per hour with him, from round 1 to round 12. A new generation, new champion.
Shakur Stevenson frames his tension with Gervonta Davis as more than just trash talk. He explains that as his reputation grew, Davis started reacting with irritation whenever his name came up, signaling that he now views Stevenson as a serious threat in the division.
We didn't get into Tank so much the last time because I wanted to focus on, the upcoming task, which was Zepeda. But there was a time where you guys were pretty cool, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What changed?
Competition. As you get older, you start to know what competition is, and he kind of looked at me like, I feel like I was a threat, which is rightfully so. Like, I don't blame him for the way that he looked at me, but it is what it is. It's two guys that just want to be the best in our sport, and we were ready to lay it all on the line.
Did he say to you like, yo, I don't want to be friends, or we can't, or is it just like a gradual thing where it started to become more distant?
Now you just know energy. You know energy. Once you feel the energy that's coming at you, you understand, like, okay, I get it.
When do you think that started to change?
I think as he kind of matured and got older. Once you get older and mature, his energy kind of let it be known, like, yeah, you the ops.
Shakur Stevenson highlights that Gervonta Davis recognizes the threat he poses in a potential fight. He contrasts their approaches to competition, showing Davis as cautious about his standing, while Stevenson seeks out the toughest challenges to cement his place among the sport's elite.
And perhaps as you were progressing and, getting to the level that you're at now.
He knew exactly. Deep down inside, he could sit here and say, I'm not this, I'm not a good fighter, I'm not that, but deep down inside, he knows that I'm the truth.
Right.
So with him knowing that, he knows that I'm the biggest threat around where he's at.
Do you see he gets very upset when people ask him about you?
Yeah. I think that's insecurity, though. I think he's insecure. Because
he knows that you give him trouble? Like, what's he insecure about, in your opinion?
With top level guys like him, cause like I'm kind of different. I look at things like competition, but like his mentality is more so like it's either me or it's nobody. It's not a 1A, 1B, or you don't have nobody equal to you. So I understand his mentality, but I like to prove that I'm the best, so we kind of just move in different ways.
Meanwhile, Greg Hackett believes Gervonta Davis owes Shakur Stevenson a fight for the integrity of the sport. He explains that given their contrasting styles, the matchup is a must-see for fans and boxing itself. Hackett calls it unusual and even corny that Davis refuses to face Stevenson, but he acknowledges there may be personal factors behind the decision. Despite that, Hackett emphasizes he would love to see the fight happen.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean? That's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game, but you owe Shakur for the game just because of the two style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? If he not gonna fight Shakur, and if he's standing on it like, I'm not ever gonna fight you, I'm not doing you no favors, and all right. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they've been through personally. You know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that fight.
On the other hand, Terrence Crawford points out that Shakur Stevenson's speed, timing, and defense would neutralize Gervonta Davis's power. He notes that while Davis grows stronger in later rounds, his early vulnerabilities would be exposed against someone as precise and disciplined as Stevenson.
I'm telling you, as a fighter,
yeah,
I will pick Shakur because I don't believe Tank will be able to land those big shots on Shakur like he does everybody else.
Right.
Shakur defense is just too tight. And not only Shakur, Keyshawn either.
Oh, you don't think Key either? Even right now, I feel like it's a little Key nice though, but it might be a little early for Key right now.
Listen, Tank get hits a lot. Tank, in my eyes, Tank is always losing until he's not.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
If you watch those fights,
well, at least in the early rounds. Middle rounds, he start coming up, but I see what you're saying. Them early rounds, yeah.
Let Keyshawn start hitting them like everybody else hitting them. Let him start hitting him with everybody else, like everybody else hitting him.
Yeah.
Man, he gonna clean him. He punches too sharp.
David Benavidez highlights Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson as the fight he most wants to see, emphasizing its massive appeal in the boxing world. He explains that if the matchup comes together, it would be one of the most highly anticipated and talked about bouts, drawing intense attention from fans and analysts alike.
This weekend, I would love to see Shakur and Gervonta. You know, I think Gervonta and anybody in any of the top guys at that weight class is a great fight. Gervonta, Shakur, Gervonta, Teal, Gervonta, Keyshawn. I mean, that 135 to 140 pound weight class is hot right now. You know what I mean? But that would be a great fight. I think probably that would be one of the fights that would be the most anticipated. You know, if they can make happen, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. By no means it would be easy for either fighter. You know, we just seen that Shakur Stevens was able to shut a great fighter like Teofimo down and made him look silly. So that would be a great fight, you know. And a big shout out to Shakur Stevens becoming a 4-time division champion. You know, he's on legendary status. He's on his way to be a Hall of Famer too, and he's still very young.
Similarly, Josh Padley calls Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis a must-see fight. He explains the matchup hinges on whether Davis can land his power shots and if Stevenson can use his skill and precision to navigate them. Padley notes Stevenson's proven ability across multiple divisions and adds that Davis would need to set up combinations carefully, especially since both are southpaws. He emphasizes the fight is highly anticipated and should happen soon.
It's always going to be that split. If Tank can land the power on him, then obviously it's how Shakur then deals with that power. But you can see how good Shakur's boxing ability is, and obviously he's proven it time and time again, 3-weight world champion. If he's on point and stays boxing, he might be able to get through the fight and obviously become victorious. It's a fight that needs to happen, in my opinion. The two most talked about fighters in lightweight division, so I hope it happens.
How would you advise Tank to land that big shot on Shakur? From what you learned?
Come in with bunches of punches, obviously, and set things up beforehand. And like I said, it's a bit of a different situation because the two southpaws fighting each other. But I'm sure Tank could be able to figure it out, and like I say, it's an intriguing matchup that I believe that needs to happen very soon.
Adding to the discussion, Tank Davis's coach, Calvin Ford, believes Shakur Stevenson is a master boxer and someone he has known since he was young, but added that Stevenson hasn't truly been tested yet. He also said he believes Gervonta Davis would be Stevenson's toughest fight, but that he doesn't see Stevenson as Davis's toughest challenge, saying a fight between them would ultimately show the difference in levels.
I ain't gonna lie, Coach, one of them gotta be Shakur, because that's the one that's a 50-50 fight. I feel like that's the only one that's like, y'all, those are two God-level fighters.
Let me explain something. Shakur is a master boxer.
Yes.
True indeed. I know the kid, he was raised up with us, but he's a kid to us. You understand what I'm saying? But he's gonna get his just due.
Yeah.
He just have to focus on his just due. And again, have you seen Shakur really been tested yet?
No.
His man, Charles Crawford said, his biggest, hardest fight is who?
It's gonna be Tank. I think so too. I told him that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do I think Shakur is gonna be Tank's hardest fight? No.
It's funny, they both say, when I say that to both, when I said that to Tank and the thing, he said, hell no. I say, what you, and I said that to Shakur, I said, Tank, he said, no, hell no.
Both of them should feel that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But when it really happened, we're gonna really see it.
Yeah.
It's just like when they talk about that situation.
Right.
You know, it's levels.
However, Mike Tyson highlights Gervonta Davis's aggression and power as key factors in a Stevenson matchup. While acknowledging Stevenson's skill and technical precision, Tyson believes Davis's strength and dominance could challenge him to rise to his peak performance.
Mike, who will win out of Shakur and Gervonta?
Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
I like to go with Tank. You know, everyone's going to go with Tank, you know. It would be a very interesting fight. Shakur takes a good shot, though. He's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. He is boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat. To bring out the best in Shakur, you got to pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
Canelo Alvarez also expects a tight matchup between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. He notes Stevenson's quickness and evasive style, but highlights Davis's power and forward pressure, ultimately leaning towards a win for Davis. Davis.
Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter. He moves a lot, and it's very difficult to get hit. To hit him, but I like Gervonta Davis.
Okay.
He's a really good fighter. He hits hard, and he knows how to go forward. So I put my money on Gervonta.
Sean Porter expects a Stevenson versus Davis fight to force Tank into a smarter, more strategic performance. He emphasizes that true ring intelligence means adapting in real time, and against Stevenson's speed and precision, Davis would need to adjust constantly. Porter predicts the matchup would reveal a more calculated and versatile Davis than seen before.
With a fight with Shakur, you're going to see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank. You're going to see IQ. We saw IQ, but to me, it was low IQ because you see somebody's IQ take place when a fighter makes an adjustment, and now you have to adjust to what that fighter is doing, and that's kind of where you see
who's smart,
you know what I mean?
Who get a hold of it.
I think my fight with Terrence shows a very high level of IQ from both of us. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what Tank is gonna do with Shakur. He's gonna come into the ring and be a different version of himself than he's had to be before.
Talking about the possibility of this matchup, boxing analyst Fannin views a bout with Gervonta Davis as a huge test for Shakur Stevenson. He emphasizes Davis's track record, noting that many opponents he defeats later become world champions, reinforcing that facing Tank represents a defining challenge and a chance to prove Stevenson against the top talent in the division.
Gervonta Davis is a huge fight for Shakur Stevenson, and for people to act like the biggest fight in boxing is with somebody like Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia is absolutely ridiculous. Now, why do we know that Gervonta Davis is such a big fight? Because Gervonta Davis has now beaten, I do believe, 5 or 6, I think it's 6 people that he beat went on to win world championships, including Ryan Garcia, who people are saying Shakur Stevenson should fight next.
Analysts highlight that despite Stevenson's sharp defense, Gervonta Davis remains a formidable threat. Tank's patience and precision allow him to capitalize on openings, meaning even one well-timed punch could shift the fight in his favor.
Shakur Stevenson. Shakur might have better defense, but at the end of the day, I still think we haven't seen the best Tank Davis. That's what people always power. We still haven't seen the best Tank Davis. And Shakur, for the most part, he comes forward. Tank Davis, all he takes is one shot. He's a very patient fighter. He doesn't throw a lot of shots, but every shot he throws, he makes them count.
On the other hand, Clarissa Shields ranks Shakur Stevenson as the premier fighter in his weight division, ahead of Gervonta Davis and other top contenders. Shields points to Stevenson's technical skill, consistency, and ability to control fights across multiple classes. While recognizing Davis's power and explosiveness, Shields argues that Stevenson consistently takes on harder challenges and has demonstrated a more complete mastery inside the ring.
Shakur is the best. To me, he's better than Tank, he's better than Devin, he's better than Ryan, he's better than Tiafimo when it comes to those weight classes. Yeah. Shakur to me is the best. He is me. I tell him all the time, you ain't gotta prove nothing to them fucking casuals. Ain't never laced up, and you think Shakur gotta prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things inside of a gym. Beat guys up from his weight class all the way up to 178.
Because the big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
You gonna go crazy in that?
You're gonna be calling me ugly for real then?
Do you think that's a 50-50?
I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I think that Tank got some great skills and got some hard ass punches. He's so explosive, but so is Shakur. Yeah. Shakur has, to me, faced harder challenges than Tank.
Richardson Hitchens also reflects on the Gervonta Davis-Shakur Stevenson rivalry, explaining that while they knew each other growing up, they weren't close. He recalls Davis sparring with them for free, putting in long late-night sessions to help Stevenson prepare. Hitchens frames their feud as a battle between two elite talents dating back to 2017, while stressing respect for their hard-earned journeys and insisting that the best fighter should win, without anyone taking unnecessary risks.
How did it feel being in the middle of that and Shakur? Because you good with Shakur, you good with Tank. How did it feel being in the middle of that war?
Shakur and Tank knew each other since kids, but they really wasn't friends like that. And then when we really helped Tank for the Pedraza fight, he was he took us damn, these young boys sparring me for free. you know, like, you're a champion, you signed to Floyd, like, you could be giving us a few hundreds or something. Like, we're giving you unlimited rounds. It was time he would take off the belt. Like, we giving you, like, rounds for your first championship. We're still amateurs. And he kind of was like, he appreciated that. And I never understood why he appreciated till now. Like, but I'm a pro, I'm champion. I'm like, damn, I gotta pay guys for sparring. Like, we'll box for free. Yeah, like, so it's like, Tank wanna spar, we'll be in the gym, but we've done sparring Tank at 2, 3 in the morning, helping him get ready for Pedraza. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so how did that feel though? You in the middle of that? They beefing with each other.
And... Oh yeah, it was like, it got weird because I always knew like these two dudes is gonna be like it. From like 2017 when they spar, I'm like, these two dudes is like, I know like, they're small, like, I know the skill set, I know the generational talent I'm, you know, around, I'm witnessing. And we was in Houston one time, this was before Shakur even moved down to Houston, and like, I got them to chop it up. Like I told them, like, you know, Shakur pull up on us, we bowling, like Tank here, like, yeah, come chop it up. They chopped it up, we kicked it for like a few days, everything was cool then. Shit got sour again. It's like, to me, I look at it like this, like, I don't care for y'all beef. Like, at the end of the day, we all come from nothing. We all come from making no money. We blessed to be in this position. So to me, it's like, man, y'all fight, may the best man win, and I don't care. As long as none of y'all hurt.
Furthermore, Colonel Moten views a fight between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson as evenly balanced. He highlights that Stevenson's ability to withstand heavy punches remains unproven, leaving questions about how he would handle Davis's power. Moten explains that the outcome could go either way. Stevenson might use his skill to win rounds despite taking shots, or Davis could take over if Stevenson's chin proves vulnerable. Overall, Moten leans slightly towards Stevenson as the likely winner.
I don't know. That's also a 50-50 fight, you know. That could really go either way. We never seen Shakur's chin tested, so we don't really know if he has a chin to take Tank's shots. But because, you know, he don't get hit. But maybe he does have a chin and he takes Tank's shot, and then he just keeps landing, winning them rounds because Tank give away rounds. Maybe he wins a unanimous decision. Or maybe he doesn't have a chin and, you know, Tank does what he does. So I don't really know. I'm gonna lean towards Shakur though.
That's a wrap for today's video. Share your thoughts about this potential fight in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more action-packed content.